Hi my darlings, I'm Sophie Darling and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Sophie. I have a doctorate in literature, which means I get way too emotionally invested in the shows that I'm watching. So if you're looking for a reactor that likes to talk about symbolism, themes, and character development, then you're definitely in the right place. So why don't you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video. Today, we're reacting to episode 3 of season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Itadori has just been accepted into jujitsu school and had to fight the cursed dolls, which was absolutely hilarious. We also got a glimpse of the final first year student that is on her way that they are going to meet at the train station. So she's traveling from elsewhere in. So it'll be interesting to see what she's capable of, because Itadori had strength and power before eating the cursed finger. Like, Itadori was not like a normal person beforehand. So clearly it must be like they seek out people with specific talents that they're born with so that they can then harness and use their abilities by training and teaching them how to manage them, so that then they can help eradicate the curses in this world. Itadori has made the decision that he is going to try and find a way to not have to be exterminated even once he's found all the fingers, but he is a vessel and he is picking his own hell, which is to do this task that no one else can do. He can't sit back and watch people die knowing that he could have helped, that he could have made a difference if only he had stepped up. So he is going to step up and make a difference in this world and follow the words of his grandfather. Though it was interesting that the principal was saying to him that you have to do this for yourself, because every person here ends up facing death at some point, and because you're facing death and that which is horrific, any regrets may manifest into curses, because curses are formed by malignant feelings and emotions. So when you look death in the eye, you can't sit and say, this is my grandfather's fault. If I hadn't listened to him, I wouldn't be here, because then you'll turn that into a curse in itself. So I can understand where he's coming from, that like you have to want to do this for yourself. This needs to be a choice, not something that's forced upon you, because once you're faced with a life or death situation, you need to be able to confront it without spreading further emotional turmoil into this world, because then more curses are formed and that's not going to benefit anyone. But without further ado, we're going to jump into episode 3.
今度こそ元気そうだな。空室なんていくらでもあったでしょ。だって賑やかな方がいいでしょ。
No. Why have you got to put him next door to me?
迷惑だっつーの。ま、一緒。
I really like Gojo. I'm kind of vibing with Gojo.
沙織ちゃん。私。
Oh, the food looks so good. Macarons.
東京に。
I'm not a fan of them. I had them when I was in Paris. They were eh.
今まで呪いが見えるなんてやつ会ったことあるか？ねえな。それだけマイノリティなんだよ。ていうか俺が3人目って言ってなかった？入学はずいぶん前に決まってたらしいぞ。こういう学校だしな。何かしら事情があんだろ。お待たせー。
Okay, so you have to be able to see curses in order to be a sorcerer.
でも伏黒と微妙に違えんだな。ハンコついてるし。制服は希望があればいろいろいじってもらえるからね。俺そんな希望出してねえけど。そりゃ僕が勝手にカスタム頼んだんだもん。
Is it to signify that he's a curse?
五条先生こういうところ
Or is he just being quirky?
それよりなんで原宿集合なんですか？本人がここがいいって。ああ、ポップコーン食いたい。
モデルさんを探してまして、自分こういうものですけど、お姉さん興味ないですか？
今急いでるんで。
She's not interested, so maybe leave her alone?
ちょっとあんた。私はどうだって聞いてんの。い
や、今急いでるんで。
なんだ。逃げんの。はっきり言えよ。
She's too assertive.
ちょっと恥ずかしいな。おめえもだよ。おい。 こっちこっち。
やばー、あの目隠しどうなってるの？
そんじゃ改めて。
釘崎野原、喜べ男子。こう言ってんよ。
He's very confident and assertive, and I think that's probably why the guy was like, "Oh, maybe not you, because you'll actually speak up."
俺、虎杖裕二、仙台から。
伏黒めぐみ。
見るからに芋臭い。絶対ガキの頃鼻くそ食ってたタイプね。
Oh wow,
名
she's
前だけっ
blunt.
て。私偉そうな男って無理。きっと重油まみれのカモメに火つけたりするんだわ。
Oh damn, okay.
人の顔見てため息ついてる。
これからどっか行くんですか？
Like,
せっ
these
か
guys
く一
are
年が3人揃
boring.
ったんだ。おのぼりさんと来てる。行くでしょ。東京観光。
東京We love 東京バカ
Look how excited they are. They're like big kids. They are technically kids. They're teenagers.
それでは行き先を発表します。
It's not gonna be fun, is it? Is it gonna be fun? No, it's not gonna be fun.
いますね。呪い。
地方民を持って遊びやが
So we got a job to do, guys. Hopefully Tokyo for me next year. Fingers crossed.
墓地イコール怖いって思う人間の心の問題なんだよ。
ああ、学校とかも似た理由だ
So
った
the
な。
emotion of
ちょっと
fear
待って。
makes the
こいつ
curse
そん
more
なことも知らない
powerful.
の？飲み込んだ特級呪物を？
Mhm.
必勝ありえない衛生観念キモすぎ
Twice.
んだと？
これは同感。君たちがどこまでできるか知りたい。
It is pretty gross, but still, he did it twice.
二人で建物内の呪いを払ってきてくれ。
でも呪いは呪いでしか払えないんだろ？
You are a
俺呪術
curse.
なんて使えねえよ。
君はもう半分呪いみたいなもんだから。体には呪力が流れているよ。でもまあ、呪力のコントロールは一朝一夕じゃいかないから、これを使いな。
What the fuck is that?
呪具、戸ざま。呪力のこもった武器さ。これなら呪いにも効く。
Oh, okay. So you can imbue weapons with curses.
少なは出しちゃダメだよ。あれを使えばその辺の呪いなんて瞬殺だけど、近くの人間も巻き込まれる。
わかった。少なは出さない。
I mean, he comes out when he wants to come out. I know he can restrain him, but he's a bit of a menace.
やっぱ俺も行きますよ。無理しないの。病み上がりなんだから。
They're just like, let's see what they're capable of.
今回試されてるのは野原の方だよ。
あーだる。なんで東京来てまで呪いの相手なんか。
I
は
mean, that's why
呪い
you're
払いに来たん
joining
だ
the
ろ？
school.
時
Like,
短時短。
what did you think you were joining the school for? A trip to Tokyo for free?
さっさと終わらせてザギンでシスよ。
Oh, yeah.
ちょっと
She
待て
just
よ。
wants to
もう
leave
ちょ
the
い真面目に行こうぜ。
countryside and
呪いっ
live
て
in the
溢れんだよ。
city.
ね
最近までパンピーだったやつに言われたくないわよ。さっさと行け。
He was a normie. He wasn't a normie.
だからモテないのよ。
なんで
Wow,
俺がモテねえ
harsh.
って知ってんの？てめえは言うほどモテんのかよ。クソが。
You need a receipt? What? A receipt for what? An ass whooping? Like, what are we needing a receipt for? Jeez.
ユージはさ、イかれてんだよね。異形とはいえ、生き物の形をしたものを、自分を殺そうとしてくるものを、一切の躊躇なく取りに行く。君みたいに昔から呪いに触れてきたわけじゃない。普通の高校生活を送っていた男の子が、
But he was far from normal.
この嫌悪と恐怖に打ち勝てず、志半ばで挫折した呪術師を、恵
Because he
みも
had
見
like
たことあるでしょ。
exceptional skills
今日は
beyond
彼女の怒り
the
っぷりを
curse
確か
item
め
that
た
he
いのさ。
consumed.
それで隠れてるつもり。
I don't like mannequins.
来ないなら
That's
こ
gonna
のまま払う
harm
わ
it.
よ。
でも釘崎は経験者ですよね。
So she got her own weapon.
心から生まれる。人口に比例して呪いも多く強くなるでしょ。
Oh damn, okay.
野原にわかるかな？呪いのレベルが違う。
Oh, so what she's used to in the countryside isn't gonna fly here.
地方と東京じゃ呪いのレ
Because
ベル
there's
が違
more
う。
people. It's more dense of a population, so those malignant emotions fester and grow.
抜いた方がいいわよ。
Whereas the countryside's there's less people.
私の呪力が流れ込むから。決まった。
So how does she discover that she could do this? Because she's new to the school.
子供
Is this a trap?
遊びで忍び込んで呪いに。
Is it playing on her like emotions or is it an actual child?
子供は美人に懐かないってのは本当み
Oh
たいね。
okay.
虎杖呼ぶか。
Oh fuck! Is using the kid as bait.
この呪い、知性がある。
レベルといっても単純な呪力の総量の話だけじゃない。狡猾さ。知恵をつけた獣は時に残酷な天秤を突きつけてくる。
Yeah, like it's doing here.
命の重さをかけた天秤をね。
くさーこんな呪い、全然大したことないのに。
Doesn't matter that it's not
せいぜい
strong,
3級の
it's
ゲの毛でしょ。
intelligent.
人質作戦。落ち着け私。その後子供も死ぬ。子供が死んでも私は死なない。合理的に考えて私だけでも助かった方がいいでしょ。丸腰よ。その子を逃がして。
She has to have something up her sleeves.
私のバカ。ほ
Oh,
ら
you're not
出して
an
くんねえじゃん。
idiot. You're someone that cares.
沙織ちゃんに会いたかったの。
Whoa!
あれ大丈夫か？
He is now.
その腕よこせ。
払います。待って。
Creepy.
幽霊呪法。
Almost like a voodoo
友
doll.
なり。
Because she had a part of the body she could attack the core of the curse, right?
勝った。
Behind it all, she genuinely does care about people because she's like, survival wise, it would be better for me to live, but she still risked everything for the little boy. She didn't know that Itadori was
私
going to
が
come
小
through
1
the
の頃
wall.
東京から村に越してきた沙織ちゃん。お人形さんみたいに可愛くて。
It was their family van that was telling them to go back to Tokyo
Saori-chan.
and that they were filthy, right?
村の奴らは仲間外れにした。田舎者をバカにしていると勝手に被害妄想を膨らませて
And those emotions built into a curse.
追い出した。気持ち悪いったらありゃしない。
Is that how she was able to start seeing them?
聞いたことない名前の手作りのお菓子を。お店のはもっと美味しいんだよと。
Oh.
あの村にいたら私は。
だから言ったろ、一人は危ねえ、真面目にやれって。
一人は危ないなんて。
ってなかった？
つうか何食って育てば素手で壁ぶち破れんのよ。
鉄鋼じゃなかったんだよ。
It's not that strong.
無理よ。普通。
Like, now is not the time. Can I leave?
お前なんで呪術高専来たんだよ。
なんでって。田舎が嫌で東京に住みたかったから。
I did say that was why.
の こと気にせず上京するにはこうするしかなかった。
そんな理由で命かけられんの？
Hey, it's her dream.
かけられるわ。私が私であるためだもの。
Not living a lie.
あの村にいたら私は死んだも当然。
Whereas she can actually be
Saori-chan.
herself in Tokyo.
私、東京に来たよ。
She's gonna reunite with her friends.
いつか会えたら。あの時行ってたお店、連れてってね。
Oh. See, she's so sweet beneath the exterior that she puts on.
あんたにも感謝してる。私が死んでも、私だけが生き残っても。ありがとう。
まあ理由が重けりゃ偉いわけでもねえか。
俺言ったからチャラ貸し借りな
なんだこいつ。
I like her. She's like, now can I explore Tokyo?
お腹減ると機嫌悪いの知ってた。
不機嫌じゃないときは
I was about to say the same thing. When are you
お
not in a
疲れ
foul
様
mood?
さ。子供は送り届けたよ。今度こそ飯行こうか。
Yay!
任せなさい。めぐみは？あ？じゃ行こっか。
He wasn't even listening. He was like, let me scroll my phone.
収穫忘れてた。あんた、私の荷物取ってきてよ。
は？なんで俺が？貸し借りなしっつったろ。
私の呪力で勝てたのよ。
俺の実力知らねえだろうが。
ゲテモノ食い、バカ力。
だけじゃねえよ。
He had strong powers before he ate the cursed item.
出番がなくて拗ねてんの。
子供
You'd be pouting too if it was the other way around. They're all so cute.
2018年7月
They are quite
西東
adorable.
京市永州少年院
Juvenile detention center. There's gonna be a curse, isn't there?
特急仮想音量名称未定その受体を非術師数名の目視で確認
あれだよ、卵みてえな。だからどれだよ。
Okay!
緊急事態のため
A cursed
高専
wound.
1年生3名が派遣されうち1名死亡
Like, what? What do you mean one died? There's no way we're going into episode 4 and they kill off one of the 3 first years. There's no way. It's not happening. I can't see them killing off one of the students already because that would be kind of insane. But then it says one of them died. So, I don't know. It could be maybe one of them dies but is able to come back. And if that's going to be anyone, it's probably Itadori because Itadori technically is a cursed object. Maybe it looks like Itadori dies, but Itadori has abilities from these cursed items that mean he isn't subjected to the same restrictions as like a normal person would be. I still don't fully understand how everything works. I understand that like curses are formed by malignant emotions, but how curses are actually used is kind of what throws me off. Of course, no one explain it because I'll learn as the show goes on. But so far we know that curses not only become like actual physical beings in this world that cause harm to others, but curses can be used for the benefit of others. So like curses can be placed onto objects that can be used as a weapon. So the principal had the dolls that had curses in them and he was able to control them. We had both Itadori and the girl whose name I have completely forgotten, who had weapons that were cursed objects. She's also had experience with curses before, like she's actively been fighting them in the countryside. That's probably how she came to the attention of Jujutsu High, because not everyone can see curses, so therefore those that can see curses are unique, so they can be of use in fighting curses in general. But we also had the little straw doll that she produced, which I'm presuming because it was attached to the arm of the cursed creature, she was able to target it specifically and destroy it because they're connected as one. But yeah, curses are strange because they're both good and bad in that they bring such harm. They're formed by intense negative emotions, but at the same time, we are seeing how curses can be used for good in that they can be imbued into weapons in order to harm and fight other curses. It's very interesting and also confusing because there's so much information thrown at you in only like 3 episodes, and then you're trying to like piece it all together and try and remember it all, and it can be a little bit difficult to follow because episode 1 didn't really lay out what curses actually are, other than they are manifestations of negative emotions. So it didn't really say that like curses can be utilized for other things. So what this is screaming to me is that Jujutsu Kaisen is very much going to be we're going to show you rather than tell you how this works, and you kind of just have to pay attention and take it on board. But as of right now, I understand aspects of it, and then there's other aspects that I'm kind of confused by. But essentially, we know that how you say her name is Nobara. So I think I understand that Nobara's interaction with curses is because she had a friend that she was really close to. She saw her friend getting bullied and her family ostracized by those in the countryside that didn't accept them. They were forced to leave. So she's seeing how curses are formed by negative emotions, but I imagine she also felt negative emotions, which meant that she became attuned to curses as well and was able to see them, but also learn how to manifest and weaponize them. Because how could she not have negative emotions towards those that pushed out the person she was closest to and that she longs to be reunited with? Especially because she said if she had stayed in the countryside, it would have been better to have died because it isn't where she wants to be. It's not authentic to her true self, and that's why she's happy to risk everything to live in Tokyo without having to spend the money because it's incredibly expensive. So her dream is solely to live an authentic life, to be reunited with her friend, to be removed from a place that is harmful and damaging to anyone that doesn't fit the criteria of belonging. And she probably maybe felt that ostracization herself, or probably resented those that ostracize her friend. And that only leads to negative emotions manifesting even further. So I want to know more about how she's connected to curses and how that came to be, but I think it is because of her friend being bullied and seeing firsthand how the negativity can impact, as well as feeling her own anger and rage towards those that made her friend feel like she was lesser and that she didn't belong. Either way, she is a very fascinating character. She comes across as really abrasive and harsh, but she's actually a big softie. She puts on this front of not caring about anyone or anything, but it's very evident that she does actually give a shit. She is sweeter than she appears to be because she's weighing up, you know, if I die, this boy's gonna die anyway. So what good would it be to risk my life? I should just leave because it's more important if I survive because of what I can go on to do for others. But she can't bring herself to do it. She puts down her weapons, leaves herself unarmed in order to give this boy a chance because she wants to save him. She wants to protect him. It takes a very kind and caring individual to actually risk your own life to save someone else's. There is definitely a softness to her beyond this rough exterior, abrasive exterior, should I say. But I am kind of curious about this womb that has resulted in one of them dying, which is kind of insane. I think it's not going to be as straightforward as one of them actually dies. I think it must be perhaps one of them appears to die but doesn't actually die. I also liked that it gave us a bit more context about curses in general, that they are capable of intelligence, in that this curse was able to know that it was weak, and in knowing that it was weak, sought to play on human emotion. The strength of the curses, but also how many curses there are, is dependent on the size of the population. So obviously Tokyo will have more than the countryside, but the curses in Tokyo will have adapted in order to ensure their survival, because they are confronted with other curses that either seek to consume them because they're stronger, or they are faced with those who can see them and are learning how to eradicate them. So they've devised new methods of trying to thwart them by playing on human connection and emotion, by saying, well, I have this child, and if you kill me, I'll kill the child. So it was smart enough to know that it could maybe make this girl reconsider. It was smart enough to not only set a trap with the mannequin whilst hiding behind the wall in order to bait Nobara into showing herself, but also reading how she acts and behaves, but then also revealing itself only once she had seen the child and then held the child hostage. So it's this way of reading and learning about people enough to be able to play on their sentiments, to be able to know that you could maybe manipulate them emotionally, is kind of wild. And that sets up a really interesting premise for how other curses may react, especially this womb. This womb is such like a bizarre concept. So I am very much looking forward to seeing how that plays out. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this react, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. And until next episode, bye.